of Shakespeare's most famous tragedies, arguably one of the best English plays of all time. With a plot centered around madness, deception, and revenge, Hamlet has been captivating audiences ever since its premiere in July 1602. But today we attack this play with science, with the goal of finally answering the question, what's up with Prince Hamlet? In the play, Hamlet uses a guise of insanity to aid in his plot for revenge against his uncle. But as the story progresses, this fake insanity grows to consume his every action. As normal and abnormal collide, it is unclear how lucid Hamlet truly is. As Polonius says,
"Though this be madness, yet there's method in't."
Is Hamlet just acting? Has his grief and anger driven him to madness? Let's start by assuming that the answer is yes. Yes and no. No, then yes. Let's assume that Prince Hamlet is not acting. Let's assume that every line of dialogue is up for diagnosis. Sitting in the psychologist's chair, what does scientific research say about Prince Hamlet? The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM, is a scientific manual of psychological disorders published by the American Psychiatric Association and is used by many types of psychologists to standardize the classification of mental disorders. Using it, we have a way of definitively diagnosing this fictional character, using dialogue to name the symptoms and science to name the disorder. If we look at the diagnosis for a bipolar disorder or a manic depression, Wait. Hold on. Sorry, give me a second. Goddamn Internet Explorer. When you search for the diagnosis of a bipolar disorder, there are three characteristic traits. 1. There are unusual shifts in mood, energy level, and the activity levels of the person. 2. These mood episodes are drastic change from the person's usual mood or behavior. And 3. These episodes are disruptive to the person's relationships and ability to carry out daily tasks. These shifts in mood often occur in episodes of highs and lows, known as manic and depressive episodes. A manic episode is defined by prolonged experience of 3 or more of the following symptoms: inflated self-esteem, decreased need for sleep, being more talkative than usual, feeling that your thoughts are racing, being easily distractible, an increase in goal-directed activity, and an excessive involvement in pleasurable activities that have a potential for painful consequences. One such manic episode in Hamlet occurs in Act 3, Scene 2, continuing into Scene 4. Take a look at David Tennant's portrayal of Hamlet as he prepares for the play.
Lady, shall I lie in your lap? No, why not?
Notice Hamlet's overeager sexual pursuits.
Do you think I'm in cunt, rheumatos?
Notice Ophelia's discomfort. He has high energy and is very talkative.
I,
my lord.
Oh, God, you're only gin maker! What should a man do but be merry?
Later in the scene, when he's talking to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern,
The proverb is something musty. Oh, the recorder! Let me see one.
but in that same conversation, his excitement turns to agitation.
Slag! Do you think I am easier to be preyed on than a pipe?
Then, in the next scene, Hamlet makes an attempt to kill Claudius.
He is praying. And now I'll do it!
And look at that, we just diagnosed our first manic episode. But to fully diagnose a manic depressive disorder, we need evidence of a depressive episode in addition to a manic episode, which requires 5 or more of the following symptoms. Depressed mood.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off.
Markedly diminished interest in activities.
I have, of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise.
Significant weight change. Change in sleeping behavior.
I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams.
Psychomotor agitation or retardation.
You should not have believed me, I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honest, and yet I can accuse me of such things.
Fatigue or loss of energy. Feelings of worthlessness or guilt.
Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Dull and muddy metal rascal, pink, like John o' Dreams, unpregnant of my cause and can say nothing.
No, not for a king.
Distractibility or indecisiveness?
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them.
Recurrent thoughts of death or suicide?
And that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter, oh God.
To die. To sleep. No more.
Yep, he's depressed. Now that we've identified both manic and depressive episodes, we just need solid evidence that these moods are negatively impacting his life to show that it's a disorder.
Your sister's drowned. I am poisoned.
Horatio, I'm dead.
And will he not come?
Yep, I think we've got it. Well done! We just successfully diagnosed Prince Hamlet. The evidence is clear. We now have a definitive answer to the question, what's up with Prince Hamlet? I'd like to say it's as easy as that, but Shakespeare is rarely that simple. In the description below, I have an essay exploring an alternate approach to the psychology of Hamlet. Check it out and see which perspective you agree with. Feel free to leave your own opinions down in the comments below.